Hi everybody, this is Rosa with Deer Families, and I'm here with Lana and Shay's baby Ethan that was in the last video. I want to give you all an update on Ethan. He has been getting a little stronger each day, miraculously. I've been in contact with my local wildlife rehabber, Erica. She was amazing in helping me understand the right steps to take to support Ethan, a wild whitetail deer who I thought had been hit by a car, but instead, after further observing him, I learned he had exactly every symptom of corn toxicity. And while I have this view of him, I want to show you one of the symptoms right now. Don't know if you can see the darkness around his backside. That's diarrhea. He's been suffering from diarrhea for the last couple days. The corn toxicity came on exactly when I posted that last video, and most deer do not make it through it alive. It's amazing that he's still with us. He's one of the toughest baby deer out there. Most deer die within 72 hours. He's past the 72-hour mark, so I believe he is going to make it. And what appeared to be injured knees, where it's actually severe weakness causing him not to use his muscles well, and that's one of the symptoms of corn toxicity. You have no coordination, you stagger. It appears his legs were injured, but they weren't. He was suffering from classic symptoms of corn toxicity. Deer get that when well-meaning people buy corn feed from their local store and give it to neighboring deer. Corn feed is meant for hunters to lure deer. Hunters give them very small quantities just to lure them, and they are not doing that to feed them or to look after their well-being. It's to attract them. It should never be confused with deer food, deer feed, bulk feed, anything like that. I'm going to post links to information on corn toxicity, a disease that quickly kills deer, in my video description so you can learn more about it. Please do not feed deer corn. Carbohydrates for that matter, like barley, all of that, you're getting into the danger zone. And I'll have links to information on deer digestive systems and why it causes a disease in them that quickly kills them. So if you want to feed deer supplemental food that is missing from their habitat, please read through the deer diets study I have linked in the description, and that will give you an idea of what they eat naturally and natively. It's mostly plants, mast, which includes fruits and nuts that are native to the land, trees, bushes, little grass. They have see how he's pushing his head against the wall? That's another symptom of corn toxicity. He was doing that to his mom, and I thought he was trying to nurse because they often did similar stuff to trying, but that's a symptom of corn toxicity. So it shows he's nowhere in the clear yet. In the last video, he was trying to do it to his mom, and it appeared to me he was trying to nurse, but he was actually pushing his head against her, which is a symptom of that illness. So I'm not certain that he will be safe and make it through this disease, but the fact that he's not staggering anymore, some of his symptoms have started to go away, is awesome. I saw some of his poo not being diarrhea. That's also a good sign, but he has had also consistent diarrhea for 2 days. Every symptom you will find on corn toxicity, he's displayed. So it's not contagious. It is just when a well-meaning person made a mistake trying to help them actually killed them or nearly killed them. I have high hopes he's going to pull through, but this is just an update on him and letting you know his condition. It's been a somber 3 days here. His family, who is normally here, all very playful together, they've been very serious. Each one of them watching him. His mom has been nurturing him a ton, but it's a very sad thing to see a baby deer in such excruciating pain that could be avoided. That didn't have to happen. And please talk to your local state's wildlife department to understand what foods are safe if you have any doubt for deer, and what methods to use when feeding them. For example, don't just put their food on the ground. It should be elevated, because feeding them where they poo could lead to chronic wasting disease. So there's quite a bit of information out there, but also I recommend, if you get involved with wildlife, be sure to be in touch. That's his cousin River near him. Be sure to be in touch with your local wildlife rehabilitators who are state licensed. So there he's about to go, and his poo is looking more solid. That's such a good sign that he might make it through. But what I have read is if the food source continues to remain, he may go again and eat it and then die. The only chance he has is to not eat that anymore. So I'm doing what I can. I'll be leaving information on the dangers of feeding deer corn in my neighbors' mailboxes, hoping that it will keep them from having a slow, painful death, because it's very likely it will kill them. State Parks and Wildlife personnel find numerous deer dead from being fed corn each year. Every state, if you look it up, you'll notice every state battles that. And every rehabber warns of it, wildlife rehabber. So this is just an update on his progress and this sweet family's progress. It has affected all of them. They have all been very serious. They're normally really playful, but this time they've been somber. I think a lot of them thought he was not going to live. I didn't think he was going to live. Yesterday evening he looked horrible. Each day he has looked so bad. But today he appears to be stronger, and the diarrhea seems to be improving. And he took a piece of apple, which he wouldn't eat a thing the last 3 days. That's another symptom. He's also slowly been grazing, been drinking a lot of water. That's another symptom, major dehydration. He's slowly been grazing today. Ate a piece of apple and a piece of pear, which there he is settling in, which is a good sign. He the fact that he ate anything and drank anything is a good sign. So I learned a lot from my local wildlife rehabber. I'll be posting information that she gave to me to share with you all in another video about what to do when you encounter injured wildlife or a fawn that appears to be abandoned, but it's a little teaser, they're really not abandoned 95% of the time. But I'll be explaining all of that in the next video. This video, the purpose is to update you all on Shay's baby Ethan's progress. He's still not feeling good, but he looks so much better than he did yesterday and the day before. I really didn't think he was going to pull through. Each morning, I have seen him on my patio. His mother has left him in my backyard since he's been this sick. And every morning I see him, I'm so happy. I see him walking around on my back patio or in the area he's in now. And they also left his cousin River with him. So when the adults have to go and find the wide variety of plants and mast fruits and nuts and trees that they need just to survive each day, they leave really young or injured or weak deer in a safe spot, and then they come back to them after they've done their daily traveling. So they did leave Ethan here the last 3 days. He's been around me, and they left River with him, which is unusual. Normally they're all together. They're 6-month-old buck, so they're old enough to travel with their elders now, and they have been. But since this has happened, they left Ethan here, and they left his cousin River to watch over him and comfort him. And the mom and his aunt and his grandmother are here the majority of the time, but sometimes they do have to travel. It's also rut, and that happens around right now too. So it's been happening around him as he's been healing as well. A lot of the buck, as they are traveling through and search for their mate, they've seen him the last 2 days sick, and they've been real gentle with him. And normally they're pretty tough during rut, but they were real gentle with him when they saw how sick he was. So they're real sweet animals. So I hope all viewers, when you see this, you'll remember, if you decide to feed deer, here's something over there. If you decide to feed deer, please do not feed them corn, and check out my links in my video description on deer diets, and please talk to your local wildlife departments and get their recommendation, because they're battling this disease all year. And the first thing they tell me when I talk to them, before I've gotten familiar with them, the first thing they would tell me, please don't feed them corn. So this is something they're aware is happening, and they're trying to stop. Please spread the word as well, because it's kind-hearted animal lovers that are doing it, and I'm sure if they knew it was killing them or making them suffer like Ethan has the last 3 days, I'm sure they wouldn't do it. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video, and I'll have more information on what the local Texas licensed wildlife rehabber has given me to share with you all in the next video. Please continue to keep Ethan in your prayers for recovery, full recovery. He's still struggling, but he is doing so much better. Each morning I noticed his mom has cleaned his backside from the diarrhea, but I know the diarrhea is still occurring because it's there again later. So he still needs your prayers. This whole family does. They've all been suffering along with them. It's not been a fun week for this sweet family of whitetail deer. So I hope you all are having a good day in your areas and enjoying the wildlife and the nature around you. Bye-bye from Rosa with Deer Families.